Fire. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Shindig podcast. Welcome back, Shinners. My name is Tom Hutley, and I'm here with
What's my name again? Oh yeah, Matt Pengelly.
What's my name again? But this podcast isn't about us. It's about the unique trials talent. We get under the skin of the UK trials community. We have a trials legend, man known worldwide, and often you'll hear him before you see him because he has the most iconic laugh in the whole of trials. I'm hoping he's laughing now.
Yeah,
it is, of course, Mr. Andrew Chai, or The Chai.
The Chai. Woo, 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 woo. Hello, sir. Welcome.
Hello, hello.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Very, very well.
I'm very calm and collective this morning and looking very awake.
It's well, not really. My wake up time is like 9:50 these days.
No.
Wow.
That's impressive. Wait, so you're waking up, you're starting work at 10?
I start work at 10. Yeah. Maybe we shouldn't talk about that.
We'll be sending this on to Chai's employer. Yeah, let's go with that tangent then. Let's talk about work, because Chai, you're like... this is the one thing I love about trials community is that everyone is so wildly different. Even just who we've had it on so far, you know, we've had Charlie Rolls, who's a farm boy. We've had Jason Lake, who's a tattoo artist. Chai, you're
What do you do for a full-time job there, Chai?
I'm a stress analyst in the aerospace industry.
Yes,
so cool.
I know it does.
You've got to say the word aerospace, and everyone's like, "Wow!" Man.
I thought you were going to miss that part out, and I was like, "Hang on, that doesn't sound cool enough." So
yeah, stress analyst. What is
So
that?
it's
Like a
stress
yoga
analyst
teacher?
in the aerospace industry.
Yeah.
No. So I work for Rolls-Royce Aerospace, and I do. Well, I do. That's weird. I do. So it's mechanical integrity analysis on engine mount components.
Definitely the
All
coolest
engines-
role we've had
all
on here so
engines
far.
that
Yeah,
are-
it's just one of those ones where I just sort of just glaze over. I'm like, yeah, that's way above my pay grade. That's too cool. But you're a when I was actually going back through trying to dig up some dirt on Chai, right? Because we went to Trials Forum. I'm sure you've seen on some of the previous episodes.
The
This is
original
But
Trials archive, isn't it?
But
The
what came
original.
across is the fact that Chai is pretty much, if you type in Chai, like in terms of a search term, everyone says what, like, you know, incredible rider, nice guy, everything. So there's no dirt on you from other people. And even your topics, it's usually right. 50% of Chai's post on Trials Forum was London ride, and his comment is, "I'll be there."
Yeah.
That was when you used to be in London. It would always be on a London ride.
We actually, I think I've even got that. Saying that, is this clip from London? This picture, I think I've got one picture here.
What clip?
It's actually
This.
It's a picture that I'm going to.
We're going to put it on screen
to
because
share
it
with
is.
you.
So I'm not
absurd.
going to be able to see it.
You'll
You
be able
will
to
be able
see
to see it in a second. I've just pressed the wrong button because I'm cool like that. Basically, from what do you know where it is? Let's just see. Try and get this picture up real quick.
But you know, some
can't
people
find
obviously
it.
had a bit of
I'm not sure why it's not.
a bit of an
coming up.
ego
Yeah.
on the forum. She said, but like with Chai, Chai was even asking about university advice. 2005. Hi guys, I've got a few issues that I would like to clarify about education. Number one, do you think a university would be more likely to pick a student from a bad college who's achieved really well, or pick a student from a private independent who's achieved similar grades?
Hey, it's out there, mate.
I did that.
You got to remember that for everyone, Trials Forum was the Reddit, was Facebook, was MySpace, was our YouTube, it was everything in one. So yeah, and you
Found
get
that on Chit Chat. Man, how old was I?
this was
Trials
2005.
Forum. 2005. So I would have just arrived in the UK. Well, I guess a year or so. But yeah. No.
And
I
just
guess
for
that
those who
makes sense.
don't know, can you tell us where you came from before the UK, Chai?
Well,
for those who don't know.
So I was
Let's start
born in
with
the
that.
UK. I was born in the UK, but
Yeah.
I spent 8 years in Singapore, and I actually started trials in Singapore. So that's where trials started for me, and I came back to the UK when I was about 14.
Nice.
What does that? I'm just
So,
thinking because obviously,
yeah.
what does that look like? Who was who got you into trials then? If it started in Singapore, because most people, it's fairly rudimentary in the UK. You see a UK rider, or it's Martin Ashton or something like that. Who is that for you?
So for me, it's actually Op and Cesar Canas. They
Right.
were the people. They were the people I met, I guess, doing trials.
What, and that came to Singapore? They were in Singapore?
They
or?
were, yeah. So they were having a massive exhibition in Singapore. I think it was 1999 or 2000, and they were doing a demonstration there. So, and it had a load of top Singapore riders at that time. And I remember that was the, it was just in a shopping mall. It was in Plaza Singapura. So that's just a standard, big like. Big like Westfields, I guess, if you like, in the UK, an equivalent to Westfield. So in the common area, they just set up this indoor sort of trials arena, and they had the world champions at the time. So at that time, it was Op and Cesar Canas that came down from Spain, and they were doing a performance there. So they were doing demos, they were doing dual trial competitions, they were just doing tricks and stunts all over, and I was just blown away at that time. I think I was 10. No, I wasn't. I was 11. Is that right? About 11. 10, 11. Young. Yeah, I was young. Yeah, so that was my first exposure, I think, properly to trials, and I think from there I actually went. So on the day that I saw them, they opened up like a public clinic, so it allowed people to go on and try their bikes out. So the first trials bike I rode, I think it's an interesting thing. The first trials bike I rode was actually Cesar Canas's 20-inch.
That's a cool accolade.
Yeah, right? The first one I ever been on.
And I did this 180 spin because, I mean, even before that, I was really into bikes. So I've been riding like BMXs for ages and ages. And I used to try like dirt jumps and things like that. Just, just in the areas in my local parks in Singapore. So I could do like a little bunny hop. I could do like a wheelie. And I was like 10. So I wasn't doing too badly, So I got
getting the front wheel off the ground,
And I could get the front wheel off the ground. I could spin the back wheel round, and everything was so easy compared to the BMX as well because the bike was so light. And that was a Monty X light at the time.
Because I managed to find a picture yesterday. Again,
and they were like, "You should try this. You should try that." And I was just riding around and loving it.
Yeah, because we found a photo yesterday of you on Monty. Again, I've lost it. That's so annoying. We'll try and get it up on the Instagram. But you're riding a Monty 221. May I add also no helmet? That is, but it's definitely not England. It's definitely not England, and you're doing it's a massive gap,
humongous gap,
humongous gap. You look about 14. You're definitely a bit older than that. But Chai, what happened?
If I was still in Singapore, I would have been.
What happened?
You used to do all these massive tricks, and now no, we're kidding. We're digging into you now. But can you remember? Sorry, I can't find the picture. We'll try and get it up on the old Insta. But I wanted to try and dig that out from you. Where is that? Do you remember when that was?
I have a 221. What color was it?
It was red. They were all red and white. Memory. I'm so sorry that I haven't got it. We'll maybe we'll get it through.
White.
Through the
red and black, red and white. No, red and black.
Red and silver, maybe.
No, I mean,
man,
I bet it's on my other computer. That's why. I mean, working between two laptops can be.
If you're sure it's in Singapore.
That's what I thought. I wanted to get confirmation from you.
I don't know. You're gonna have to. I don't know.
Okay.
Sorry, Matt.
No, don't worry, mate. We can bring that up in another time. There's something that a question that's really been digging at me for years, actually. How long or how old are those trial tyres that you still have? The white ones. You still have white trial tyres.
Okay. So there's a story. There's a story on this. Okay. So I acquired the first one, and it was from someone in Derby. It was Dan Bell, actually, and he just sort of just gave it.
Like Dan Bell,
he just sort of just gave it to me. He didn't really care.
He's a nice guy, yeah.
So I've been riding around with one single white tire, and at that point,
front or back?
I don't remember why. At
front
that
or
point,
back?
I was desperate. It was a back.
Okay.
I was desperate. So if you go through some of my photos of my old bikes, you will find that at one point I just had the back white tire and a front black one.
Yes, yeah.
And the bike was full of stuff, like it had all sorts of bits and bobs on it. It had like green wheels and you know, I don't. For me, it's all about riding. You know, I never really. I was like what I had on the bike, so long as I could ride it.
Yeah.
So so at that point, I had that, and I think someone saw me at Radical. What's his name? Oh, it's Andre's friend. Ronnie. What's his name?
Ronnie.
Oh dear. You know him. I don't know his name. He stopped riding recently. Fuck.
Simon.
Let it come to me.
One of
No.
Right, so one of his friends. Go on. We'll have to dig out what that was.
Oh dear. Anyway, he offered.
Yeah.
Rory.
Oh, Rory Hooper.
Rory, you know Rory.
Yeah, Rory Hooper. I don't
Rory
think
Hooper.
some people will know his name.
Rory
He's disappeared.
Hooper, you know him.
Yes.
So he came up to me and he was like, "Look, Chai, I've got a trial front. Are you interested?" I was just like, "How much do you want for it?"
More like, you know,
He was
the key
like,
to
"You
my
get
heart.
it." Like, you know, like he was like, "Whatever, you know, just give it, just hand it." I was like, "Yeah, go on to the next trial, I'll grab it off you." And that's how I acquired 2. So I only acquired 2 white trial tires because I was riding one, and someone thought
Someone
it'd be a
felt
good
sorry
idea
for
if I
you.
had the other one.
Sometimes many people play that. The petty card. Like,
I don't know. He was just trying to flog it, I think, because no one wanted them anymore. I mean, for me, I hate waste. I absolutely.
We know. We know from personal experience. Perhaps we'll get into some of that later on in the podcast.
Italy, 2019.
Yeah. Go on. Sorry.
Yeah. No. I mean, my hatred for waste probably comes from my dad. If anything, you know, he was always adamant that we should never waste food. And so now I eat everything, right?
Yeah.
I eat everything and anything.
Even if you're not hungry, he's had a full meal.
Oh yeah, when we left it,
on, explain this
when we
Tom.
left the World Cup in Italy in 2019, and I mean we made it was just like potato salad with a bit of carrot and just odd stuff that we got from the supermarket. And when we left, like we stayed in this real nice Airbnb, it was just like an old bowl of it, but we'd been there for like 4 days or whatever. Yeah. And I think you was like desperately trying to eat it before we left. It was yeah, I mean, I wanted to use up some of it, but I sort of thought, well, you know, it's only potatoes and carbs. This is sort of like, if it was meat, yeah, I'd
No, it was for breakfast. This was for me.
Yeah, the breakfast early morning before the flight.
Potatoes and carrots that were cold before breakfast.
Pasta as well, I think.
And pasta. Like, we can't let it go to waste. No, we've got a flight to catch. No, we've got to eat these carrots and potatoes. But I respected you for it. 'Cause you were like, no. This is good food. It's nutritional. Perhaps that's where we're going wrong, Tom.
Well, I think it's kind of a good ethos. I mean, you've as well, because you've ridden just about every kind of bike on the market. You've been like every brand, I suppose, as well. So maybe it's this ethos that's got you that kind of exposure. If you'd have just said, well, look, no, I'm only restricted to Echo. I'm only going to ride Echo for the rest of my life. You know, that's my brand dominance, you know. But do you want to talk us through some of the bikes you've had?
To be honest, I've never really had brand loyalty as such, if you like.
I disagree with that. I think you're quite loyal to Scorpio, like in terms of.
No, I'm definitely loyal. I'm definitely loyal if I'm with them, if that makes sense. But I've got no trouble. I guess. I mean, when I'm sponsored, that's a bit different. So before I was sponsored, let's say. So before I was sponsored, I did not have a thing where I'm only going to buy Montes or I'm only going to buy Echoes. I was literally like, I would get whatever I can get just to get riding.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. That's kind of my.
Anything that works. I mean, of course. If you've only got potato and carrots for breakfast, you'll eat that too. So. when there's no option on bikes, we'll definitely just have anything that has no seat. But
oh my god, this is not going to go down well for me.
You do realise that people will soon.
Anything that's given.
You also, in terms of future sponsorship, you might be shooting yourself in the foot here. They're like, wow, Chai will take anything. Like, let's give him like.
And for those actually, on that topic of sponsorship, we'll get onto that. So Chai is actually does have an official sponsor, and he's got some backing from a fantastic company who is Scorpio, correct?
Scorpio.
And we had our guest last week, also another Scorpio rider, or has a Scorpio bike, should I say? Jason Lake is on the Scorpio
Yes.
on his bike. Now, how long have you been sort of teamed up with the Scorpio? Tell us a little bit about their background that you know.
Wow. So, 2016, 17, I think. 2016 it must have been.
Mm-hmm.
So about 4 years now. I so they were starting a new brand. I was probably one of their first sponsored riders, I think, because at that time they were just new, coming up, trying to bring a new bike to the market, and I got they put on a post on Facebook asking if anyone was interested.
So you
And I
didn't know
got
them
in touch.
personally or anything? You're actually
Not
sort
at that
of
point.
seeking.
Not at that point, no. So
Okay.
I kind of expressed interest.
Yeah.
And then I actually, so me and my wife now, we were planning like a big trip anyway to Asia. So we were going to Hong Kong, and we were going to
Mhm.
do a few things. And we thought we'd never been to Taiwan before, so we actually did decide that we were going to go to Taiwan. And from there, I found out that Scorpio were close to Taiwan. Well, they are in Taiwan.
Mhm.
And we actually did a trip to their factory. So Tanya is an
fantastic.
engineer, I'm an engineer, and we were both like, "Yeah, go on. It sounds like it will be fun. Let's go have a look,
Oh,
find
that's
out what
cool.
they do there, have a check out what the area's like, what they do." And so I got in touch then as well, and they were really welcoming. They got, "Yeah, come around, have a look," and that's kind of how it started, really. So I
Oh,
introduced myself.
I
They
didn't
got
know
to
that you
meet.
actually went to the factory there. That's cool because it's quite a rare thing that we get
As
to
I said,
do.
that's so cool to actually see it really from the inside, because most of us, myself included, you just get a frame from a dealer, whoever it may be, and that's it. You just don't really see the life cycle of it. So for you to actually see it firsthand, know what goes into it.
Yeah. No, so we went there, and we had a look at what they were doing there. So they have various different companies. It's quite interesting. Loads of different companies in a quite a smallish area, and you got one side that just does the welding, the jigging, one side that does the heat treatment, one side that does the hydrofoam, and the parts just go around these different companies, and eventually they end up at Scorpio, and they put them together and brand it as such. But all the little bits of work, every little site is like specialized in doing a specific part of the manufacture process, which I thought was quite
That's
quite
cool, and
interesting. It's very
they're all
different
coming
to
together
how.
to create this kind of unique and one of a kind trials frame. Nice.
Exactly. Yeah. So it was quite different to, I guess, how I'm used to thinking of how manufacturers work, where everything is sort of, well, I guess most of it is sort of done in-house.
Yeah.
Uh, I guess you have one production line that does sort of everything. You know, that's kind of what I think of when I think of someone making a frame. I just think it will just start here, go through, and then come out the other side, a completed thing. But now here you've got loads of different companies doing lots of bits and bobs.
Oh, that's really cool, man. Yeah, I had no idea though, even that you'd been to meet their side on in Taiwan there. So that's quite a nice thing. I think I'd love to go to a factory. I know it's sent all the time. Just want to head over to.
I don't know. In my mind, I'm like, oh mate, can you just make that bottom bracket just a little bit higher? Can you just do? I know it's not that easy because obviously there's so many things involved.
Just weld it closer here.
Can you just get rid of those mounts, please? Like,
Yeah.
what are those things? They're 4 bolts. I don't need those. Like,
Yeah, no, I do. So I do provide feedback every now and then as well. So especially if I like, well, if I see other people break things on their bikes, or if I break something on mine, or get like superficial damage here or there, I do try and tell them, like, this is where you could improve. I mean, I'm not really, I don't know where that sits in terms of the bike industry as a whole, like, how valuable that feedback is, but there is definitely something there. Just in
well, of
terms
course,
of
I think coming from yourself, you're like one of the, well, quite a long time serving rider, but also in terms of your riding ability and the street monster competition, what competing in worlds as well. I just think that's the most valuable feedback. You've got it on both sides. You've not just been a competition rider, but for those who've not seen and like Chai's classic London Village, just have a look at a London Trials ride, and you will just see someone come flying through the frame, doing a wheelie gap, a hook, side up to pedal.
We might have something.
Yeah, we've got. Yeah, we've got to show you.
you.
There's a photo we found, right, We went to this spot earlier this year, right? I've only ever seen one other person.
Is this the bail?
Oh no, this comes later. We'll do this in a bit. Have you got the
okay.
photo of the gap, the wheelie gap?
Oh, that's the other one.
Yeah.
The photo. Sorry, I'm just selecting the wrong thing here. It's like it's my job or something, isn't it?
I got that. I saw that screen share then.
Yeah, that was the wrong.
came
I just
through.
said the wrong thing.
You sort of know what's coming now, but we want you to explain something in a minute.
Yeah, there's.
Is that why?
This one is insane,
no,
right?
This is like.
This photo is from 2004. You see that? No, it's coming on screen now.
Can you see that?
Just for the record, I did not make this gap.
Mate, but that's a pretty solid attempt. Look at the angle of that bike. If you're listening to this, right, it's a rolling gap. If you know the spot in London, there's a near the Tate Modern. It's kind of like a loading bay. It's a classic spot on a London Trials ride. But there's a rolling gap. I've only ever seen Vincent Hermant's done it on the 2010 London ride, the massive one. And he done it rolling. But Chai's done it. But the angle of his bike is insane.
It's his body too.
Yeah,
Like,
angle of his body. Like,
and you do look. I mean, what happened, Chai? Look at you there, mate. That is unreal.
What happened after this, or what happened during this? I was just giving it a solid attempt. That's kind of. I mean, that I didn't. To be honest, look at that. I should have made it, right?
the amount of momentum there.
I'm pretty sure the tire actually did hit it like on the edge, and then I did have to back off. And I think at that point I just I hit it pretty hard. But no, I mean that's kind of how I do rolling gap.
Yeah.
It's
I've seen you many a times attempt things and just not quite make them. One of the only guys I know that can hit a hook
So much
times,
velocity involved.
100 times, get up to back wheel on the hook, but never get up the wall.
Yeah.
Like 100 times, back wheel. Like, yeah, that's not happening today. You're like, well, you're doing it.
I remember it actually, one of my first rides that I didn't go on, but it was in Clacton. I don't know if you remember this ride, Charlie. I was trying to find a video of it desperately, but my old friend Charlie, he made a video of this Clacton ride, and it was basically you in the rain. I think you're wearing a rain jacket. You're on rocks and stuff. This might have been when you was Echo, probably around about 2006, 7 or whatever. But you're doing like monstrous side up to pedals and stuff, like probably about nearly as tall as me. Like, how is that?
Side up to pedal king. I must say, I'm giving you that title now, officially on the Shindig podcast.
No one ever went. But did you ever measure how big you went with those? What was the?
Oh, I don't know. 58 inches was probably my biggest ever. Like, it was like at my eye height.
Wow.
I was standing next to it.
Why did that never catch on? Like, it's so because like a pedal.
Because it's not.
Chai
It's
still
not
does
allowed
it.
in UCI rules.
He's been known to put a cheeky pedal down or a cheeky bash during a section.
So I'll tell you where that whole thing. I don't know if well, we're all talking really hypothetically about bike trial videos, but Nelson Reese back in the bike show, when he was in the bike show, he did a monstrous side up to pedal on a Brissa, and that video was viral in Singapore. That was like that video in Singapore. I remember watching that like on replay on my screen. I'll sit there for an hour and I'll just watch it, and it must have left an impression in my mind, clearly on a subconscious level.
I was about to say,
come along and carried on.
Became the pedal. I mean, you were the person that taught me how to side up to pedal. Like, that shouldn't be a thing, but yeah. But it was one of those. Originally, I remember being a kid thinking, oh yeah, this is like a trick, a move. Makes you know people like you can't go to pedal. You can't go to pedal, and then I realised that perhaps this is more of a technique as to staying confident when it came to side ops. That's what it was for me, because that way I was able to kind of just throw the bike up, and if I'm not going to get there, then the pedal will. That's my theory. Speaking of bashing the bike, mate. I think Tom might be getting something ready there.
How do I share this, Matt?
So just go back to the core and present
now. I think you might have seen the preview come up.
We skipped to part of it, but
a tab,
actually, yes, I actually, my eyes were watering crying with laughter.
I don't know if
Not
this is going to
literally.
share. It says share audio. Will that mean the audio will come through?
Yeah. This because it's on we're on a Google call. It's
Oh,
a Google
okay.
tab. It also shares the audio. just in
We're going to
case.
burst out laughing here. This is absolutely hilarious. I think Chai knows what's coming, but 2016 UCI World
Can you
Cup.
see that, Chai? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can. Cool. Just want to check. So, for those that are listening,
Oh.
Wait for it. This is the best one. Oh my god! Oh,
it's
there's
just Dave
Kerr.
waving around.
There's Dave Kerr. Oh.
Oh, mate. Sorry, but hopefully they can hear.
So
the
there's
crash.
two bales, and the thing that's hilarious about it is you uploaded this video. No shame, no shame.
Was that anyone who noticed that?
Why do you have to have shame? There's no shame.
It's incredible. But so the end of that section where you're going, yeah, you're just loving like completely the section. I think that's classic. I mean, when you go,
No, Tom, you didn't get that. That was a fail. Tom.
Was it not?
No. You
felt
got that
clean.
wrong. You
oh,
got that wrong.
it's worse than I thought.
At that last point, I actually did not make it. So I missed a gate just before I got to the end of that section.
Oh, I thought you
And
was
because
celebrating.
I missed that gate,
Oh.
I messed up. I got a 5 for that section, even though I was literally right there at the finish line.
I mean, you're keeping up appearances there with the Sarina Williams of the trials world.
Yeah, you'd always know when Chai was going for a move because you could just hear, yeah. That's either Chai doing a hook or doing a rolling gap. Like,
That still goes on today. I mean, my last competition in Worksworth, I did this side up that I was so pleased with, and I just had like a mini celebration, and obviously a loud one. Yeah, didn't go unnoticed.
Well, speaking
Well,
of the competitions, there you've had quite a bit of experience over the riders that I've known.
Actually, someone wanted to ask
Yeah.
if you could explain what happened in that last clip where you sort of gapped to your face. Like, what happened there?
Actually, yeah, that was the most important one.
Hang on,
If you got to watch this, so
the last
one we
The
put up,
last
yeah,
one.
yeah,
So go on. Do you want to? If you put it up, can we?
yeah. Let's share the screen again.
Can
So
I
if you're
talk
listening
through
to
it
this,
as we pause.
yeah,
as we
I
freeze
can see
frame?
if we can go through it. What was going through Chai's head at that time? So 2016 in Austria.
Oh, this is gonna be.
It's a gnarly log section, right? It's so gnarly. I'll just see if I can find it.
I'm hoping the audio comes through as well as it is because the sound of the crash.
So, yeah,
is
you can see that now,
so
Chai, yeah?
unreal.
Yes, I can. Okay, so can you? I don't know if you can even go back one frame. So basically, that's fine. Leave it there. So
I
basically,
won't go back one.
go on.
Unless
So
you
you
get
have
up
to
it,
get
yeah.
up. You have to get up the first log. Okay. So it's about handlebar.
Just where the
height. You
tape
have to
is,
get up the
really,
first log, and the idea is that you roll down the log that you're on, and you put your front wheel on the log that's perpendicular to it.
So basically,
right?
you're rolling down like a log, like down its narrow way. So you're going down
Yes.
Just
it.
explain it.
There's section markers, I think, by the sides of it. So you can't hop to the left or the right off the log.
No, you're not supposed to.
You're not supposed to.
I don't know where you go,
Okay.
mate, but it is so. Just play it again.
So you hop up onto there.
So listen. Okay, look. Get me back to the.
I think we're gonna have to make a meme out of this or a GIF. On that, if anyone's a meme maker,
This
we're
is
looking
like
for
the
for
Jonas
us.
one, isn't it? You know? Yeah. Okay. So you're there, right?
Back
Okay.
wheels up.
So I've messed up already at this point. All right, I've already messed up. So I'm on the back wheel. I'm on the log, but I'm not on it enough. Right. I know. I either need to pull back and jump off.
Yep.
Or I go forwards and I know I'm not well on the first log. Okay. So I'm not good on the first log. So
Okay.
on the first log, I'm trying to decide how I'm gonna crash.
He's deciding. How do I get out of this thing?
I was debating whether I could jump back and pull through, but I think I I tried to do that, but didn't manage to do it because my momentum was so forwards already.
Yeah.
So in the end, I was like, okay, so I'm going forwards.
Slowed it down, look.
Look, here we go. It's in slow-mo now. So,
Okay, so here I'm going forward. So if you look, I'm leaning my board.
look at the back wheel, comes right up. I'm sorry for the listeners, but yeah, you may have to head over to Instagram, YouTube to check out this clip. We will try and make a short one of it.
Wow.
But essentially, he's gapping off the top of a log and completely looping out mid-air, I add. You know when you loop out, it's like you're already looping out in mid-air.
Yes. So what happened is, so I do the gap. Wait. Okay. So you're not even supposed to gap. All right. You're not supposed to gap. There's no.
You can sort of like go down the log and then just rest your front wheel on it.
There's nowhere to gap
Roll down
to.
it.
Okay. There's nowhere to gap to. Now the log that I'm going narrow on sits like this, and there's a wall here. Yeah. That's supporting the log, holding it upright. So I have to clear this little bit of wall to land. Yeah. So I'm up here and I'm looking at this wall. I'm like, I need to clear that, but I'm not looking at what's in front of me. So when I jump to clear the wall, my front wheel clips that log in front of me. Yeah. So the log that's perpendicular. So I jump off to clear the wall a little bit, but my front wheel just clips the log in front of me and that loops me out. So that's why I land on my arse effectively.
I see. There's a bit more of an explanation now, but it's
quite hard to see from that angle, I suppose, what's going on.
Absolutely.
Someone give this man a helmet camera.
Did you, I mean, more importantly, did you get a shindig from that or no?
No, I didn't. I actually got out of it really lightly. I got nothing. I remember Danny Comas turning around and being like, "Are you all right?" I was just like, "Yeah, I'm fine.
My handlebars.
I'm okay."
No, they're fine.
They're fine. There's nothing wrong with Danny Comas'
If you play the
handlebars.
video slowly, you can actually hear, I'm okay. I just say that.
Well, and that's what I was saying earlier, having quite a bit of a competition.
Guys, I keep getting the screen.
Yeah, go on. You're having some technical difficulties. It's normal.
No, well, I don't know. I don't know if it's me or you. I guess it must be me. I don't know. But I lose your voice every now and then.
It might be, interwebs, internet. So, well, sorry, I've lost my train of thought then. Right. I was going to ask, you've had quite a bit of experience in the competition world. Luckily you've travelled around the world, represented the UK in competitions, etc. We've asked most of these people, what do you think of the new rules that we've been...
I love them. I think they're brilliant. Yeah, no, I absolutely love them. I think it's great for comp riders, So in the World Cups, I'm always sitting, I don't do particularly well, so I sit at close to the bottom. But in terms of now when with the new rules, there's actually a distinction in the bottom half of the results.
Yeah.
So previously, where you would get everyone getting full marks, and if you just got through one section, you would be like right at the top because of the lower half, if that makes sense, because everyone will be on full, and then you would just have got through one section, and that would put you 10 places ahead. Now you've actually got like a breakdown, through the whole rank. So you've got a breakdown from top all the way to place 50, which is interesting for me. That kind of shows you a bit more, it tells you if you're improving, if you're not improving, and I really like that. And I think it's also great for like lower novice or even newer riders just to get that,
I agree.
feel good that I've done something in a competition rather than going around just collecting fires, which, sometimes it can even feel like that for me when you're in a UCI World Cup and it's just, everything is so difficult. Yeah. You're not expecting to get through anything, but then you can come away.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's quite important.
You come away getting something.
What you said is it's the fact that knowing if you're improving, because otherwise if you could be having a really good ride, a good trial will get through some parts of the section, but if it just says 5, if you go back and look at that score like a year later, you don't know how hard that trial was or what you did well on. So it's nice to actually see, I did collect some points somewhere. I never really thought of it that way, that you can physically see your ride, I suppose, through the score.
Still amazed it took us this long to get to this point where it needed to change, because I've competed now with both of those rules, and I have to say it makes excuse me, a massive difference to the enjoyment of the competition. But I always think there's still room for improvement. What What do you think your views might be? What would you personally do next to improve the competition, sort of the rules or the setup? What would you suggest you might do?
For me, things still need to be simpler. I think even as trials riders, we struggle to, some very experienced trials riders still struggle to get their heads around some of the rules. And even at our level, me and in elite, when we're riding club competitions, we still make mistakes that that are like really basic mistakes, but are not immediately obvious to us and not immediately obvious to the public either. So if anyone's watching, they wouldn't necessarily click straight away that you've made a mistake. And I think that needs to be very much more defined. So this is like where section tapes are, how you mark out whether you can go this way or not. It just needs to be clearer, almost like one of the things I would really love to do, and obviously it's a time and money thing, but like how Ninja Warrior is with trials. So Ninja Warrior, you just have a progressing level of sections, if you like. You have one section here and it goes harder, it goes harder, it goes harder. But it's all really sensible. It's all just in one line,
Yeah, and it's down to elimination rather and distance.
Well, yes. That is true.
Because they have done something similar. Like, do you remember? It was either Tarty.
I think it was Tarty days
or Radfest. We'll say it was Radfest. Radfest did like a elimination sort of style competition where every single rider did the same section. But obviously each one just got further and further. And
that was so fun. I remember that.
I do remember that, yeah, because I think I got wet. Yeah, we could. You just had to ride along a beam, and that was one thing I loved. You had professional riders still struggling to ride along that beam.
The paddling pool, and had the kids with the little water guns.
Because I remember, I think Charlie Rolls then was quite young, and he just like pedalled across, and I actually fell off. So that was that clear indication. But that was exactly right. It was like it was at every kind of level, but the same course. But that's an interesting one, yeah. So it's nice to think. I'd like to perhaps do.
Yeah, it's good because everyone thinking about that. Everyone was all sat around watching that. That was engaging for everyone to watch.
Yeah, because there's only one course. There was nowhere else to go and get lost at. And sometimes I know, from a personal perspective, when you're trying to go round with your friends or go on this, there's so many people you want to watch and support. Whereas if everything is in this one centralised place, that is. And
I think your idea of saying like Ninja Warrior, that's kind of a good example, really, because imagine that you're watching Ninja Warrior and then someone's done really, really well and they get midway and then they go, well, stop. Yeah. You went through that little wrong gate there.
You're out now.
It is ridiculous when you put it like that.
Yeah. I just did so much cool stuff for you. That's all going on your show and you're going to completely... But yeah, no, that's interesting though. I think there's some definitely obviously room for improvement on those rules, and I think one day I want to do my own competition, but it's another story.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. Yeah,
and see about that.
I think
I was going to before I forget, one of the most important questions we always ask all of our guests: can you remember your worst shindig?
It was in London. It was a London ride, and I was trying a side up. And I don't know what happened, but I looped out.
Looped out of a side out?
I looped out, and I clipped my knee. It was an old... I think I had already hit it before, so it was kind of like half healing, and I just ripped it again in the exact same space. And that...
was it a pedal?
That took me... Sorry? It was on the pedal, yeah, but I don't think I have any pictures. I only have the scar that remains.
Maybe you can get us an image of your lovely scar. We're going to have this one of the weird wall. But why do you have so many pictures of people's legs?
Shins.
Like, we're the official shinners, maybe?
What we'll do, we'll have a game show and we've got to guess who the rider is by their shin.
Yeah, once we've got enough in our library, that would be amazing. That would be well funny. I don't think... our legs are really, really disgusting, but
it's quite disgusting.
There was something else Steve was asking. Steve Rogers, actually, you might know him.
I don't want to know. Go on.
Is there any other? Steve mentioned you might be into some other sports like kayaking or something. If anyone doesn't know,
wait, maybe Chai can explain. Wait, we've not said anything.
We've not said anything yet. Go on.
What you want me?
Can you explain where we might have? So, can you explain why Steve and ourselves might think that you're also a professional kayaker?
I have no idea. I have no idea. You tell me.
Okay.
I have no idea.
So apparently, Tom, I don't know. We might have to get a picture, but apparently, your helmet is a kayak helmet. That's what Steve told us. I believe him.
So it's not. It is not.
It's not?
actually it's a fox helmet. That I got
Okay.
from Chain Reaction Cycles.
Everyone, you heard it here first.
It's not a
Officially,
kayaking helmet.
it's not a kayak helmet. This is a real cycling helmet. My view, I thought you were going abseiling. I thought you were going to do rope climbing, maybe, or
Is it how it sits on my head?
I think it's when you go to like any like kayaking place or something like, well, I've never been to kayaking place, but when you see them, it's those generic sort of like red kind of helmets, I suppose, like a climbing helmet. That's what they give you, don't they? So
it's just a little
I think
bit
when
of
you
a-
see it from
is it a colour?
yes, when you see it from a distance,
because it's bright red.
and it's the shape, yeah, like it's just because it's solid. I suppose it's not any.
Why is it not just a standard piss pot? Why?
I think
why
it's.
doesn't it pass
We'll
as
try and
that?
get an illustration maybe and compare them, Chai, just for you. I don't think it's that bad, but I did find it absolutely hilarious. I never thought of it. Never been pointed out to me before until the Captain Crash first in line himself mentioned that, and there's always a bit of rivalry between you two.
He got off pretty lightly on our podcast. I think we need to get
He
him
really
on
did.
now. Yeah.
We did not roast him hard enough. You wait till you hear Andre's one too. But I've also said that you are officially second in line to Captain Crash. We've decided that. Oh,
I think he's lost
Sorry,
this.
guys, I've missed that.
There you go, we're back
I've
again.
missed that, guys. I've missed that.
that's okay.
I did
That's all right. We'll say it
did
again.
not catch what you said just there.
We've decided to give you the official title of second in line for Captain Crash.
Deputy captain. What's one down from captain?
Yeah, vice captain. Is that it? Deputy vice captain. So at any point, if Steve is unavailable, you are his understudy. I think many people will agree with that. Many people will agree.
I can't believe he didn't get his World Cup line that I filmed from Maltier. That was a terrible crash.
Oh yes, no. There's other times I'm gonna have
So
to
many.
put. It's you have no idea. I've got down here for one of our YouTube vids. It is a Captain Crash montage.
He credit cards himself in Portsmouth. Oh, it's brilliant.
Brilliant,
yeah.
brilliant.
But I think you guys are similar in that way, and I've learned from both of you, just like lack of fear.
Lack of fear.
Yeah, mate. I don't
definitely.
know. I think you do. I know there's some things you're like, no, that's too scary, but there is definitely a lack of that in some areas because you still try crazy stuff that none of us really comprehend.
I guess, yeah. I mean, it's all calculated risk. I like to think. We really think about what we're
He's an
doing.
engineer, right? Yeah. So yeah.
Well, one thing I think that I don't know if you still are this way, Chai, but with your riding, there's not a weak spot to your riding. Like you can do just about every move, right? There wasn't any move that was or wasn't.
To me, my weakest moves are actually going forwards, but I guess by as in when I say going forwards, I mean like pedal hops and wheelie hops. I really struggle with that. But I mean, I guess in a relative sense, it's not too bad, right? It's like Andre
100%.
complaining
I will go with-
he can't.
well above average.
it's like Andre complaining he can't do a 50-inch side on. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah. We've addressed that with him. We've addressed that too. Mate, I think we're in good time now.
What? So I mean, going forward, a couple of questions. What does trials biking look like to you now? Because obviously before, I'm sure it's just a bit of a hobby. What keeps you going now? Obviously we're much older. You're happily married. You're in a great career. So why do you
difficult.
still get on the
Yeah.
bike? What does it look like to you?
That's a big one. I mean, I don't see trials ever leaving my life, to be honest. I want to be involved in some way, shape, or form, even in my 40s, 50s, going forward. Whether that means I have kids and bring them up as trials riders, I don't know. But either way, I still want to contribute to the community. For me, what trials has brought for me is it's like priceless in a way. I put down a lot of my life decisions to me being able to ride a trials bike. coming from Singapore to the UK, the transition to being comfortable in the UK was majorly helped by having trials riders.
Yeah.
So, when I come over as a fresh person, I didn't have anyone, I didn't know anyone
Oh,
to
your
speak
friends.
to or whatever,
Yeah.
Yeah, I had no friends whatsoever, right? I'm just literally picked out of Singapore, brought over to the UK. So having trials riders around at that time, and we had a good group. It was these people, obviously you won't know about: Dan Hardman, Mike Hardman, Jimbo, James Lim. These were all
A bit
people
before our
that
time.
I started riding with, and they were local to me at that time,
Yeah.
and they were around when I just arrived in the UK, and they were the ones that brought me to London, made it possible for me to keep riding, really, because in Singapore, because my parents don't drive and they still don't drive in the UK, the only way I go for rides is if I go out and there are riders.
Yeah.
Then I'm riding, because everyone's local, they just come out of their houses and they go and ride. But in the UK, it's quite different, because you kind of have to drive to places, you kind of have to get to places to ride. It's not that simple. It's not that accessible. Whereas, so I was really lucky in that sense. So
Yes.
trials was made more accessible to me because of friends. Yeah.
It's a really massive point. I think a lot of my friends and your friendship groups are built off the foundation.
Well, that's the reason why I'm living in the same
Trials.
house with you. It's just, hey, I'm a trials biker. Want to come live with me? Yeah, cool, man. Yeah.
Let's do that. And
Sorry.
did we lose Jai for a second? Yeah,
Oh,
he's back. It's all right.
this is so
The
annoying.
joy of intrawebs. To be honest, our internet connection.
We were just saying with, the fact that I'm living in this house with Matt, it was trials bikers,
Yeah.
just come live with me.
Trials has basically directed my life, or given me a pathway to some extent. I knew I had to have a real job at one point when we were a teenager trying to do trial shows with trails. I was like, I'll do this for the rest of my life. Then realizing that it's not that sustainable and how difficult it really is to be full-time on that. So eventually got a real job. But I know for most of us, it's the foundation of our free time, our friendship groups, our hobbies, and the things that we like to enjoy, and videos, anything that we consume generally. And so much so, I was like, I want to listen to a podcast. Oh, it's not made yet. We better go and do it ourselves. So.
Yeah, I think I really feel for people that don't have that kind of community, that kind of, connection, because I don't know, I can't compare it anywhere else in life, whether you can or not.
I guess it's only like smaller niche sports, and I can't think of anything else. Frog jumping is a sport, by the way. Just FYI, frog jumping.
Well, we jump over people.
You can be a frog jockey. That's a real thing. I watched a documentary last night. So just using that as an example, right? Tiny community, but they're all friends, and all the winners and the people that know, they all know each other. That's the same as us. So trials is like frog jumping.
Well, we might have better progression at that. Let's go do that sport. Do you reckon they've got a podcast and they're going, well, there's a sport called trials biking? They're like, trials biking?
Like, guess what? They've got no seat either.
It is the most bizarre sport. Yeah,
I think that's, and it's one of those things.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was going to say, it's one of those things that a lot of people find hard to relate to. I think that's why it can be a bit like.
So
Yeah.
as a trials legend, you officially have that because, you've been riding since about the 2000s. I think that's when legends were born. You were huge in the London scene. There's plenty of videos to prove this. What do we need? What does the trials scene need to keep going, to flourish? You, Andrew Chai, you say you must do this, or we need more of this. What would it be?
More people like you guys.
Just back that.
Can we just
spin that question around back to you? We don't take compliments.
No. I mean, definitely. I feel that trials just needs the right kind of exposure. I think Spain have probably got it quite right in terms of what they're doing for trials. I feel that they've got outdoor venues, indoor venues, competitions on a public scale. So for me, it's exposure that's what we need, and I think you guys are doing that through the podcast. I think Ali Clarkson's doing a great job with his vlog, Scott Wilson on his vlog, but it's things like Danny McCaskill, obviously, and I think any exposure is good exposure. Like I'm definitely, I've got nothing bad to say about any kind of exposure. Danny Butler, Danny McCaskill. I think everyone needs to realize we're some part of us fundamentally, we're in the same boat, and it's just about getting more people aware of what you can do on a bike.
I think this year has, from experience, this year has really grown probably more in this year than it has in the 2 previous years.
Easily.
The actual sport.
Very much thanks to lockdown and that we could exercise outside.
Yeah, and just seeing all of these old riders come together, getting the discussion. I mean, it certainly gave me a kick up the arse to be like, hang on, I've been talking about this podcast with you all year and saying that we're going to do something, and finally we pulled our fingers out and got on. So
yeah, no, I think it's absolutely amazing.
No, it's really good.
I mean, we're going to be on Spotify.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, man.
Your family can listen to your voice.
So your final little plug, where can people find you? What you're on YouTube, Andrew Chai. Instagram is probably your biggest.
Instagram is probably my biggest, d.chai. I'm on Instagram mainly. YouTube, I'm not so much of a content creator these days. I just kind of post up clips and I'll be happy to talk.
However, there is content there already.
Other than that, it's really Facebook, I guess, for organising rides. That tends to be the place if I'm organising rides locally.
And just for some of the local riders, where are you based in the UK? If they don't know already, perhaps they can. I know you're always keen to get out with new riders and teach them things and get rides going. Where are you based?
Yeah. So I'm in Derby City at the moment.
Up in the north.
So in the Midlands. Well,
it's north to us. Okay. It's fine when you're in Cornwall. Bristol's north. And Derby, and there's also a trials park in Derby. Can you
Correct.
just quickly?
Yeah. Derbyshire Bike Trial Centre. That's down. Well, I would say down the road. It's about half an hour's drive for me. So I do go up there. I'll be happy to give people lifts up there. I guess when the whole lockdown thing ends, if anyone's struggling to get to places, give us a shout.
So,
but yeah, we've got a good group anyway in the city centre. There are about 5-6 of us that ride, and interestingly enough, it's probably the only place so far that I've been able to experience the same thing I experienced in Singapore, where I could just go out of my house and go somewhere and ride.
Yeah.
And not have to get in a car and ride or something like that because I'm so close to the city centre.
We will definitely. I know I'm one of those people that once this lifts, I will be coming to see me in Derby and heading to the park. I still haven't been there myself.
No, yeah.
You've definitely got to make a trip down.
Yeah, 100%. I'm embarrassed that we hadn't yet. So, but we'll mend that. We will mend that. Chai, absolutely amazing. You're an amazing guy. Thanks for taking time out of your normal working schedule to hang out with us.
I think we've got to end on one thing, and that is that Matt said this is an accolade. It's non-trials related, but it is still no doubt an accolade that you have anyway. And it was regarding, I suppose, drinking with Chai.
Actually, this is. I forgot to mention, for those who don't know and are looking for a great time with people to have, Andrew Chai is one of the best people to get drunk with. Just an FYI. I've gotten drunk with hundreds of thousands of people all over the world, all over different countries, and he is in my top 3. That is a serious statement there. I've said it first. Guys, you got to go out with Chai.
I need to know who your other 2 are now.
Yeah, I'll leave it at that. Chai again, mate. Thanks so much. We cannot wait to be let loose with you again, out on the bikes and at the bar, everything possible. Thanks again, mate.
Thanks, man.
Keep on screaming and screeching with that bike.
Yeah.
We look forward to hearing you again, my friend. Perhaps just for a little outing, do you want to give us a little scream as you leave?
No, but like, no, I can't.
You can't do it.
It's completely involuntary.
It is.
I can't,
Okay,
I can't do it.
I'm gonna
like
have to
that.
find some clips, and if anyone's
not
out
a
there,
voice.
I will. If anyone's out there, please create a meme or a collection of Chai screaming. Perhaps we could make a song.
Yeah,
It's been done before.
the song, and the cover will be Chai rowing his
my
kayak down the
God.
stream.
Or maybe just
I've
abseiling
never thought of doing that. I've never thought of doing that with my screeches.
with. Well, it might be happening now. So watch this space, people. Chai, thank you very much again. We will see you Shinners and all again very soon at the next one.
Much love. Take care.
Ciao for now.
Bye
See you,
bye.
mate. Bye.
Love you guys. See you later. Ciao.
Right.